The honourable member for St. John's.
Deputy Speaker. Clearly the minister doesn't know and understand what the definition of clear means, because it is not clear why the Pallister government is making such crazy, egregious, callous, heartless cuts on a myriad of different fronts, including Manitoba Hydro. Deputy Speaker, I want to remind everybody in the House, because I think that what ends up happening is that members opposite, once their boss makes their decree that this is the crazy cut of the day, and then the cut is executed and everybody loses their mind, I think that they actually forget the decisions, the crazy cuts, the callous cuts, the heartless cuts that their boss directs. So I want to remind everybody, Deputy Speaker, in the House that this announcement of 700 layoffs for Manitoba Hydro workers is on top of the 900 layoffs that Manitoba Hydro was forced to execute because of the Premier. Because the Premier is hell-bent on destroying and butchering the infrastructure of Manitoba before he retires to the beaches of Costa Rica. And you can be darn sure, Deputy Speaker, that come the next election, people will remember what every single member of the PC caucus stood by and allowed to happen. And if the members opposite don't believe me, which is fine, I want to just read into the record, Deputy Speaker, a letter that we all got, which I'm not sure if members opposite actually read. But I feel that it's important, Deputy Speaker, to put it on the record in Hansard, not only in our individual emails that I know everybody got, but it's important to put it on the official record in Hansard so that everybody, again, as I have often said, when people come back, when researchers come back to look at the beginning pieces of the privatization of Manitoba Hydro, what were the steps that the PC government, that the Premier did? What did he put in place to break down the infrastructure of Manitoba Hydro so that then all of a sudden everybody's going to say, look, they're going to say, oh, we've got to privatize it to protect it. So I want to put on the record an email that we all got to the Legislative Assembly of Manitoba. My name is Neil. I am a 46-year-old telecontrol journeyman at Manitoba Hydro. 8 years ago, I can table it, it's coming in. I'll start again. Good, I'm glad. 8 years ago, I enrolled at Red River to end a constant cycle of layoffs. I would be 40 when I graduated. And I knew that looking for a new career at this age would be difficult. I chose the electronics engineering program after working with a provincial program to retain underemployed workers to find the best options. Today, I am preparing for my potential layoff. Not because the crisis has taken away my work, nor because Manitoba Hydro is in a state of redundant labor. When you lay me off, this is what you will save. You will save having my experience and training to assist in the continuous improvement that helps our electricity bills, the second lowest in the country. You will save having my expertise and training to assist in the next outage. You will save the regular household spending / donating we contribute to Salome Mission, Main Street Project, Winnipeg Harvest, MAS, and a number of smaller groups that desperately need help right now. You will save the provincial income tax and PST that would have gone into the general revenues. That's not a small number. You will save the school and property taxes that will be deferred. You will save the city from receiving the water bill on time. You will save that spending that's been strategically put out to support a number of smaller businesses and restaurants. You will save having my benefits to cover monthly health expenditures, which will instead become a burden on government programs. Now multiply that by 700. Then expand out the Manitoba Hydro, from Manitoba Hydro, and multiply it again by all the labor that has been put on the street with the cuts in the last few years. What you actually saved is countless contributions of 700 economic participants like me, while decimating the skilled and committed workforce of one of the province's key economic engines. Today, we live in the surreal environment of the COVID-19 pandemic. Today, I'm watching as the fragility of our economic system falls to pieces at the expense of the most vulnerable in our society. I have been very privileged for the last 6 years, as I have earned a comfortable wage. I am not rich, but I am not poor either. Yet somehow, that state of comfort puts me in the top 10% of earners in this province. I'm considered rich because I can go without a couple of paychecks before I need to start worrying about losing my home. The province has always had a problem with this privilege being something that needs to be taken away, instead of seeing it as a benchmark to bring everyone else up to. Right now, here in this moment, is an opportunity for Manitoba to stand up and become a shining beacon for the rest of the country. Now is the perfect time to make changes necessary to pick people up, to give them an opportunity to be part of rebuilding we will need to partake in. Invest in the people that are working so hard to protect our communities. Then invest in those communities to make them stronger and more resilient to future crises. Now is not the time to race for the bottom. And that was sent by Neil, I don't think I know how to say his name properly, but S-C-H-A-U. And I wanted to put his email, and Deputy Speaker, we have received many, many emails. In fact, it's hard to keep up with some of the emails. There's so many coming in respect of all of the cuts, but certainly the last notice of 700 layoffs from Manitoba Hydro. I think what I want to do, and I know the minister is chirping over there that it's not true. It is true, Deputy Speaker. What I want to do for Neil, because I do plan on sending Neil a copy of Hansard, what I want Neil to know is that today, at a little bit after 4 p.m., that while I was reading his letter into the official Hansard record, several of the PC caucus members were chirpy about, laughing. The minister is trying to disabuse some of the things that we're putting on the record here today. I think that Neil, and every other Manitoban like Neil, should know that not only today at 5 or 3 minutes after 4 p.m., but every single time that we stand up in this House and we try to make the Pallister government to account and be accountable to the decisions that they're making and accountable to the decisions that they say not one diddly squat about, they should know that they chirp and they laugh and they don't listen to anything that Manitobans have to say. They don't care. The PC caucus absolutely does not care that their boss is making decisions that are destroying people's lives. And here they are, and again, right now, they're laughing. I don't know how folks actually vote for people opposite. I actually don't understand how people opposite get into such sacred positions like being that of an MLA when you're supposed to be fighting for all Manitobans, not just rich friends, but here we are, we're in a situation in a global pandemic We're in a global pandemic, and members opposite are laughing. They're laughing.
The honourable member's
at
time is up.